Hey, how's it going? I'm Skitty Beans, and today we are going to be watching When Cats Break the Rules of Nature. This is from Casual Geographic, and it was also a suggestion. Well, I guess like the cat videos that because we watched one of the three, so this is another one, and then we'll watch the other cat video, and then we will watch facts he got wrong. So that's our plan because I did see you guys commenting on that and recommending that. So we are gonna make our way through, I guess, the cat trilogy before we watch the facts that he got wrong. So, but thank you for the suggestions though. I always appreciate it. Keep them coming. It's literally like always something new, something great. You guys find and pick really good ones. So you got good taste. So thank you. I also want to let you guys know that I finally got around to having a couple designs that I've been working on finally finished, and we officially have some merchandise. It is only a couple designs, but I am working on some more. So if it is something that you're interested in, you can visit my store. We got hoodies and t-shirts and a mug right now. But I am going to be working on some more stuff, and if not, no big deal. I just appreciate you guys being here. So thank you so much for just watching and commenting and just being the awesome people that you are. Our little corner has grown so much, and I just want to say thank you again. Thank you so much to everybody. If you do get a chance, I would appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe. And I have Casual Geographic's video linked in my description below as usual. All right, let's learn about these cats, shall we? That's so cute. Those little wiener dogs. I love those little dogs. I love their little bodies. Oh my gosh.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
What the hell? With a little piglet. The tiger mom. I love that though. That's adorable. Oh.
Sometimes all it takes is one picture going viral to completely shatter everything we thought we knew about the world. This is one of those pictures. So the story goes, a mother tiger in California tragically lost her cubs to premature labor, and the loss left her so depressed that she would barely move and wouldn't eat at all. Worried.
Oh my gosh, that is so sad. Oh, poor tiger mama.
Cubs to premature labor, and the loss left her so depressed that she would barely move and wouldn't eat at all. Worried for her well-being, zookeepers took 5 baby pigs, wrapped them in tiger skin, and like only a true mother would, the tiger adopted them all.
Oh my gosh, that is so wild. But she became a little piglet mom. Oh my gosh. I love them wrapped in these little blankets though. I love it.
She would nurse them, eat and sleep with them, and refuse to let them out of her sight. It was your typical Disney feel-good story that warmed the hearts of anyone who saw it. Now, here's where you have a choice. I can let you keep believing that story and just leave you with the happy ending. In which case, you should probably click off this video, drink water, hug your...
Oh no, she ate him, right? She got hungry and then it was pork chops.
mother, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. For the rest of y'all going red pill, just remember, you chose this. So this
We chose this. Okay, let's go.
picture's 100% real. No Photoshop, no filter. This happened. The story I just told you behind it was completely made up. First of all, this wasn't even taken in California. It was 8,000 miles away in one of the biggest tiger hubs in the world, the Sriracha Zoo in Pattaya, Thailand. This isn't a wholesome story about a tiger taking the role of swine surrogate. It's actually one of the most unhinged experiments you've never heard of.
Oh no, were they trying to see if the tiger would take care of them, or if they would just nom on him? Oh god, okay.
Tiger taking the role of swine surrogate. It's actually one of the most unhinged experiments you've never heard of. You see, this zoo wanted to know if they could successfully rewire the nature of a tiger, and they did that by having one be raised by a pig. Yeah, they basically decided to play God with a giga-sized Garfield. I mean, this was back in 2004, but it was also 11 years after Jurassic Park. Someone should have known better. So
2004, yeah, that's not that long ago. But this is wild. This also seems like a terrible idea. Oh, why'd he have to mess with our emotions like this at the beginning? Oh, why'd you gotta dupe us? Why'd you dupe us? Bro.
This was back in 2004, but it was also 11 years after Jurassic Park. Someone should have known better. So the Sriracha Zoo had a mother pig raise a litter of tiger cubs. The tiger in the viral picture was 2-year-old Sai, and she was actually brought up and nursed by a pig until she was 4 months old.
This is so wild though. This is so crazy. I mean, people think of some weird stuff in the name of science, that's for sure.
The whole point was to see if being raised by a pork product could make an apex predator less of a life risk and more docile. And from the pictures and videos, it would seem like it worked. Until it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right? Like it worked for a while and then, you know, got hungry.
More docile. And from the pictures and videos, it would seem like it worked. Until it didn't. It would take years, but eventually several claims would come out. You know, claims of animal mistreatment, exploitation, and straight up abuse. Basically, it ended up being one of those places guys would go to take a selfie with a tiger to put on Tinder. And I genuinely hope that was the only cat any of y'all ever saw. The zoo also had a
Oh, these puns. I approve. I approve. Damn. This is kind of sad though to hear about like how these tigers are kept and treated. This is kind of messed up.
With a tiger to put on Tinder. And I genuinely hope that was the only cat any of y'all ever saw. The zoo also had a bunch of hands-on stuff you could do with tigers, which is probably the biggest red flag a zoo can have. If the same striped delete button that can solo a walking bicep also sits still for a stranger's selfie, start looking left, cause ain't right. So to
Yeah, that always seems like kind of dangerous, I would say, for sure. Like, I'm sure that there are like plenty of animals that like this is probably more okay with, but this just, I don't know, tigers, I don't know, that seems kind of like a you know, anything could happen at any moment just because, you know, 9 days they were cool, but that 10th day, you know, they could have just had a day and now people are missing limbs and becoming snacks.
walking bicep also sits still for a stranger's selfie, start looking left, cause ain't right. So to make a long story short, if Tiger King would have came out in 2004, Joe Exotic would have been Bangkoking in Thailand. There was even an incident where 23 tigers flatlined a bird flu after being fed raw contaminated chicken. And then
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. God. I hate hearing stuff like this. It just makes me so sad because like they don't deserve this.
an incident where 23 tigers flatlined a bird flu after being fed raw contaminated chicken. And then there's also the fact that one of the zoo owners, Samay Tamsiripong, was charged with breeding tigers without a license.
Oh no. Ugh. Oh, this is all bad. It's all bad.
It took a worldwide pandemic to do it, but eventually the zoo closed its doors July 13th, 2021. But whatever happened to Sai and her foster pigs? Well,
I mean, that's a long time though. From 2004 to 2021. That's a long time for all this shenanigans to be going on.
the zoo closed its doors July 13th, 2021. But whatever happened to Sai and her foster pigs? Well, 16 years after this picture was taken, another video would go viral. Only this time, it was a now 19-year-old Sai pouncing on one of the piglets and not in a cute playing type of way.
Oh no. Oh god. Oof.
It was a now 19-year-old Sai pouncing on one of the piglets and not in a cute playing type of way. The only thing stopping Wilbur from becoming the end of Charlotte's Web was a zookeeper distracting the tiger before a bunch of small children found out where bacon comes from. That video
Oh no. Oh god. So like they it wasn't playtime anymore. It was eat time, or we're just gonna kill it time. I don't know. Oh god.
Charlotte's Web was a zookeeper distracting the tiger before a bunch of small children found out where bacon comes from. That video wasn't exactly the nail in the coffin, it was more like the shovel that started the digging. What that video also proved is that you can't change nature, no matter how many sequels this franchise gets. Like, take this.
I mean, I think that is so true. So true.
Also proved is that you can't change nature, no matter.
It's like, I don't know, like I guess it seems like the pictures seem a little bit deceiving as to, I guess, maybe what ends up happening, but at the same time, like, was the tiger just tolerating the pigs till it just didn't want to anymore and then was just like, you know, F it, I'm gonna eat it. Like, is it that kind of situation? I'm not sure.
No matter how many sequels this franchise gets. Like, take this video for example, where this polar bear went viral for seemingly petting a husky in Canada, the biggest meat eater in the world on legs, and even he can't.
I would no, I'd have to change my pants. I don't know. This seems like, oh, after watching some bear videos, nope, I would not. I'd be not having this.
Went viral for seemingly petting a husky in Canada, the biggest meat eater in the world on legs, and even he can't help himself. Adorable, right? The part that didn't go viral was immediately after when the polar bear proceeded to send a dog to dog backwards by attacking and eating it. All while
Yeah, say like, no, nope, nope, no, I think polar bears are beautiful. I think they are cool, but this instance does not seem okay. Not at all. I mean, I guess maybe if you didn't like your dog, but that seems horrible to do to this poor dog.
immediately after when the polar bear proceeded to send the dog to dog backwards by attacking and eating it, all while the dog was chained up and couldn't even run. Hey, remember,
no.
you chose the red pill. The point is, there are rules in nature, and every time we cosplay as creator and break them means one less dog, one confused tiger, and a bunch of pigs that are gonna have one hell of an identity crisis. But
Yeah, this seems like a whole mess that happened here. I mean, I I I get it, but at the same time, it's just like God, like science, the things that we have done for science sometimes just seem so wild, and I guess from maybe like a more sensitive perspective does seem like it's so cruel too, but I mean, we've done a lot of wild stuff in the name of science and medical things and just all around, you know. So I totally get that side of it, but it's still kind of like oof, you know, like yikes.
dog, one confused tiger, and a bunch of pigs that are gonna have one hell of an identity crisis. But sometimes nature breaks rules all on its own, and all it leaves us with are questions. Kamunyak was a lioness living in the Samburu Reserve in Kenya who would become famous worldwide in 2002 for violating the #1 rule of being a lion. The lioness was seen with a young, as in not older than a week old, oryx calf. She didn't turn the calf into calories, instead she acted as his bodyguard, following it around everywhere and even defending it from other animals attempting to meal prep it. The lioness had adopted something that any other day would have just been protein. And this
That's really cool though. That's fascinating. How did she even come across? Wait, did she eat the mom? And then was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna take this baby with me. Oh,
was attempting to meal prep it. The lioness had adopted something that any other day would have just been protein. And this time humans had nothing to do with it. Tourists would flock in from all over to witness this disrespect to the natural order, and even after seeing it with their own eyes, they still didn't believe it. Kamunyak only confused rangers the more they watched her. At one point, she squared up with a group of cheetahs for looking at the oryx calf the wrong way. She would literally starve herself for the calf's sake. She couldn't go out and hunt for herself, since the little oryx calf would just wander around aimlessly instead of staying hidden in one place the way an actual lion cub would. So for the more than 2 weeks these two were together, she just didn't eat. I can only imagine.
oh my gosh, she didn't eat for 2 weeks? Wow, she was something. She had some sort of special connection with this little baby. That's incredible though that she guarded it. I mean, this is wild. This is, I mean, it's cool though. I mean, it is cool. But damn, I can't believe she didn't eat for 2 weeks.
Since the little oryx calf would just wander around aimlessly instead of staying hidden in one place the way an actual
It's pretty
lion cub
cute.
would. So for the more than 2 weeks these two were together, she just didn't eat. I can only imagine what the other lions thought. This was basically like a man walking into an orphanage and then leaving with a Big Mac in a stroller. Like that time SpongeBob had an entire relationship arc with something he grills for a living. It's just one of those things like Mandy smiling or EDP foster momming a cupcake and not eating it. It just breaks the natural order. One day, Kamunyak and her little calf went to get water, and in the short amount of time her back was turned, a male lion appeared and gave her a live demonstration of what a lion actually is. So
Oh no. Oof. Oh gosh.
time her back was turned, a male lion appeared and gave her a live demonstration of what a lion actually is. So yeah, no more baby. And the lioness that had nearly starved herself to death for it acted like any mother would after losing a cub of her own. And the rangers watching it all go down had no way of explaining it. Now the
Oh no. Oh gosh. That's so sad. Oh. Oh god. I'm curious though to know like what happened, like as to like what made her I guess, adopt that little baby animal.
After losing a cub of her own, and the rangers watching it all go down
Aw.
had no way of explaining it. Now, the baby oryx calf being chill with its #1 op in the first place actually isn't that crazy. There's a good chance it was probably just too young to even know what fear was. Like when a baby wildebeest was filmed playing with a hyena cub as if his family reunion wouldn't dissect and eat him alive. That is until its mother pulled up and bro remembered who he was and dipped. But a predator playing parent to prey is where rules get broken. It's something you'd expect from Disney, and like in Disney, it probably started from a family member getting murked. Kamunyak apparently had cubs of her own, and a violent dispute in the pride meant she lost them, likely to a new rival male. And with as young as she was, this was likely her first litter, and after losing them so brutally and hormones still running high, she probably didn't know what else to do. So it's possible that the calf imprinting on the lioness caused a motherly instinct to override to turn you into takeout and smoke you like a Marlboro.
Oh my gosh, that's like such a complex, like, brain, I don't know, personality behavior thing that's with these lions. It's incredible though. Like that's actually like kind of fascinating that, you know, they can have that much grief and it like overrides their predator instincts, I guess, or predatory behaviors. So then now they have this little baby that's like basically like food, like probably 99% of the time. That's actually really that's crazy.
Imprinting on the lioness caused a motherly instinct to override to turn you into takeout and smoke you like a Marlboro instinct. At least that's just my guess, because no one thought to ask the lioness what was going through her head. And this might have been her first time, but this wouldn't be her only. This would happen not once, not twice, not even a hat trick, but Kamunyak the lioness would adopt 6 different oryx calves. Also,
What? It's 6 different. Oh, bless her. She's a gem. She's a little gem.
Twice, not even a hat trick, but Kamunyak the lioness would adopt 6 different oryx calves. Also, I feel like I should just mention at this point she was going out of her way to follow her just so she could steal any unattended minors. And it wasn't like she just didn't realize that these weren't lions, because oftentimes she would let the newborn calf nurse from its actual mother before running her off. And in case
Oh my gosh. So, well, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess too, I mean, I guess we always tend to like humanize animals a little too much, maybe, but maybe that's just what she thought was like, oh, well, I had better luck with this one as opposed to like my cubs. And I don't know, was she like totally exiled from any of her prides that she was maybe a part of? So she's just like a lone lion now? I don't know. I don't know. This is all very interesting. I also feel like I have a lot of questions.
In case you're curious about what happened to the rest of her foster kids, the second one was intercepted by park rangers and taken to an animal orphanage in Nairobi. The third calf actually returned to its mother, and during a nursing session pieced out with the rest of its herd, even with Kamunyak chasing after them to get her baby back. Same thing happened with the fourth.
Well, that's kind of sad though. That is kind of sad. It's like you know, like when it that seems just like a cry and desperation, you know. And then that's kind of heartbreaking.
Pieced out with the rest of its herd, even with Kamunyak chasing after them to get her baby back. Same thing happened with the fourth, with the mother oryx managing to reunite with her baby. And I can only imagine this made her learn her lesson in the worst way possible, because she didn't let the fifth calf return to its mother, and the end game was the calf going into a permacoma due to starvation, which Kamunyak would respond to by eating the soul evacuated body.
Oh, I mean, I guess at that point, what else are you gonna do? But that's, oof. Oh, that's just kind of like all around bad. Or maybe this is something she liked doing. I don't know. This is like, it's like so fascinating and sad and, but really, just really interesting, like for the most part, as to why she kept going back for more. I don't know. It's kind of wild.
And adoption number 6 went like 3 and 4, with the kidnapped calf hightailing it back to its biomom. And remember, she would go on a hunger strike for the entire time she was looking after each one. And I'd love to tell you that this story ends with Kamunyak finally getting an actual family of her own, except she was last sighted in 2004 and no one's been able to find her since. So if this was a movie, it'd be Lion King's troubled teenage cousin. And it's not the only time this kind of thing would happen. In 2015, a film crew was focused on a herd of wildebeest along with one lioness stalking them from the grasses. Fun fact, lions will often spawn wipe their prey by attacking the ones that have just given birth. So when the lioness made her move and the mother wildebeest dipped, it looked like it was about to be a revolving door for the baby right back to the gulag. Except that's not what happened. The apex predator hesitated on what would have probably been her easiest meal in months. And the literal minutes old wildebeest started nuzzling up to the huge cat.
Oh my god. that wildebeest was just born and it was already running around like that. I mean, that's crazy. But this is like, what the hell? I feel like this is like so much chaos so quickly here.
Been her easiest meal in months, and the literal minutes old wildebeest started nuzzling up to the huge cat, as if the same lion that wasn't finna take him off this world was the one that brought him in. And I don't know if it was that famous new baby smell, or if the fetus not showing any fear factory reset the lion's software, but not only did she spare him, after a little while she left, and the still wet from the womb wildebeest calf reunited with its mother. And unlike with Kamunyak, this lioness was 100% trying to catch a body, but something made her stop, and I have no idea why.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what is that? What is that in their brains that like made them not eat it? Because like more often than not, I would imagine like they're eating like baby animals, or like he said, like animals that are just being born. But then like what made this one so different, or like what made this day so different? I don't know. Yeah, this is like this this is some cat brain stuff that we gotta dissect and like figure out here because it is very interesting.
This lioness was 100% trying to catch a body, but something made her stop, and I have no idea why. At least with the calf, it's probably too young to know to run away and just saw the lion as a warm body. But an animal deciding to pretty much pardon something it's eaten hundreds of in its life is something science can't 100% explain. And before y'all say she must have felt bad for the baby, there's literally videos on YouTube of lions life-depriving pregnant animals, pulling the fetus out and eating both alive.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's extreme, but I mean, I guess that's like a 2-for-1 meal. So I guess I get it. But it is interesting though. It is interesting to know. Like I definitely wouldn't say that I think it feels sorry for the baby. I don't think it's that. But it's definitely something like something switched in their brain, or something along those lines that made them change their mind about eating those babies, or even the ones that were like taking care of them, stuff like that. Like it would be very interesting to know as to why that happens sometimes, because obviously it's not every time.
Or I guess technically only one of them's alive. I guess there is a chance a lioness was trying to use the baby as bait to murk its bigger, more fulfilling mother, and some articles think it's their version of playing with their food, like a cat and mouse kind of thing. But like, that still doesn't explain how a cat that can eat 15 pounds of meat a day would lose interest in free calories that fast. And the stories just keep coming. In fact,
Yeah, like that's true too. Like I get that reasoning of it, but it also doesn't make sense, right? Because it seems like they are like really gentle with those babies. And then like the other one that was like adopting all of them, like she was starving herself. So obviously, I don't know, that can't that could have been it either. I don't know. Like it's all very like fascinating of like what is going on when in those kitty brains that like they are on whatever occasion that they decide not to eat a baby, or whatever, or that now they're stealing other animals' babies and hanging out with them. Like what is that? Like what is that about?
just last year, a lioness was caught on camera looking like it was escorting a baby wildebeest calf back to its herd, with the little guy following him the way he would with his bio mom. So I don't know, maybe when a lioness loses her cubs, the motherly instinct is so strong she'll project it on anything. Or maybe lions are realizing that chasing and catching their groceries is too much work, and now they're trying the factory farming strat. But a lion treating food like family wasn't the only time a major rule of cat culture was broken. Like, I want you to take a good look at this picture. This might look like nothing special, but let me give you some background. A lion's main goal in life is to pass down his genes as much as possible to keep his bloodline alive.
This lion looks beautiful. I think lions look so cool. It just looks so like soft but terrifying. I don't know. I mean, like, as much as I want to say I would pet one, I don't know. I would probably, I don't know. I'd be a little nervous. I would be a little nervous.
The catch is, whenever a rival male or males take over a pride, the first thing they do is commit severely late-term abortions on any offspring that aren't theirs. Scar actively trying to put Simba on a t-shirt was scientifically accurate, although if it was 100%, he would have wiped out Nala too.
Nala, Nala, Nala. You know, you really have no choice. One way or another, I always get what I want.
Oh gosh, that came off way darker than I actually realized. Okay. Scar making our dark move on Nala was left out. Oh, that was like a part that was left out. Okay. This came to Scar's cave to tell him his kingdom is in complete disarray and something needs to be done to fix all the problems. That is when Scar begins to sing about needing a mate, which includes the line, "My cylinders are firing with fervor, and you, my sweet thing, fit the part." Oh, God. Oh, my God. Okay. Yikes. Oof.
Yikes. But yeah, long story short, a new stepfather usually means caskets for any remaining cubs. Which is exactly what this male did. After he and another male took over a pride, he proceeded to give every cub a welcoming gift of a pair of wings and a halo. Every cub, except for that one. That's not his kid, and he knows it. Not only was he seen sparing op DNA, he was even photographed playing with the cub. Also,
That is so wild. Like, I get it, but that's kind of crazy that they do this as like a, you know, like the baby ate mine, but we're gonna, you know, I don't know. Like, you would think that that would, I mean, I guess in like a, if you're trying to have a bigger population in your pride, maybe that doesn't matter, and the ones that you have later do, I don't know. Or I guess you just gotta, you gotta start over. But that's, oh gosh, that's pretty savage.
and he knows it. Not only was he seen sparing op DNA, he was even photographed playing with the cub. Also, a moment of silence for his actual dad. Man's just nearly lost his entire gene pool and got all his women snatched from him just to have his own chromosomes cuddling with the lion that did it. And I just
Oof, that is kind of, you know, some of these like animal, like how these animal packs work. It's just, damn, it's a hard life.
gene pool and got all his women snatched.
So do like other lions end up being alone, or do they ever pair up with like other lions that have been like exiled or lost or kicked out, or like do they not like each other? Like, how does that work? So like this one gets kicked out, right? So like he's not like, so he loses his pride or whatever. So then does he just go off and be alone, or does he go and try and find another one, or both, or does he team up with like other people, other lions that get kicked out, and then like they're like bros, and then I don't know, maybe try to take another like how does this society work exactly?
Snatched from him just to have his own chromosomes cuddling with the lion that did it. And I just know bro watching from the gulag like, ain't no way.
Oh.
Now, new males don't always go Casey Anthony on the children. Sometimes lionesses are able to fend off the newcomers, and sometimes the lions don't even bother with cubs that are 9 months or older, i.e. cubs past the nursing phase. But like, that's the thing. That cub is definitely young enough to get turned into a rug. And being cute with someone else's kid goes against basically everything we thought we knew about them. And it's not just lions defying nature. Male tigers usually want no parts in raising children. They might protect them, but that's it. Especially since tigers are solitary animals that have enough of a full-time job looking after themselves. But there was at least one tiger that broke this rule, and his name was P243. You
P243. Oh my gosh. What a name. What a name. I mean, that's okay though. That's wild though. Okay, so then okay, so male tigers kind of don't hang around, I guess, like unless they're needed. I mean, they do kind of seem like they're like, I guess tigers in general, they do kind of seem like they're more like the loner cat
themselves. But there was at least one tiger that broke this rule, and his name was P243. You see, our boy P243 had a mate, and that was P213-32. I didn't come up with the names. The two were together for over 2 years, and 243 was never seen with another tigress because we love a faithful king. But his mate suddenly died, and it clearly had an effect on him. He spent hours sitting at the place his mate of many years past, and when the tigress was cremated, P243 was on a scene less than an hour later. She didn't.
Oh gosh. Oh, I mean, I think that is something that I think a lot of animals do have, like when they, if they do have some sort of attachment, or they have like a significant other or whatever. I do believe that animals grieve. I definitely believe in that for sure, and especially from like some of the other videos that we have watched, for sure, they definitely have like a grieving process of sorts, and it's just, oh, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit though.
Years passed, and when the tigress was cremated, P243 was on a scene less than an hour later. She didn't just leave him behind, but also 4 cubs. Normally, losing a mother that young means the orphans would soon get to go see her, but P243 did what we rarely see in a male tiger, or really any male big cat for that matter, do. He stepped up. After that, P243 would often make kills, but leave the food
Oh
behind
my
for the 4
gosh.
cubs who were too young to hunt for themselves.
Oh, he stepped up and became mom and dad. Oh my gosh. Wow. See, like, and like what made him different than the other ones that would have just left him, you know? Like what is that? I'm like I'm so curious now.
P243 would often make kills, but leave the food behind for the 4 cubs who were too young to hunt for themselves. One time, the father caught a full-grown cow and left it behind without taking any for himself. And whenever the forest department would see the 4 cubs, the father would never be too far away. Obviously, there isn't a mystery as to why he did this. I mean, they were his kids. But it also managed to break what we thought were the rules of being a male tiger. Because as dark and messed up as it sounds, it would actually make more sense to just cut losses and try again with another female, instead of taking the time to raise kids that might not make it in the end when you really could just make more. Especially
That is true. I mean, there are a lot of animals that do seem to do that, you know, or like we've seen in other videos, you know, if they think they're weak, like then they're just gonna leave them. I've seen it firsthand in my backyard of you know, animals not making it with their moms, like being babies because they're like the weak ones. So that is true. That is a very good point. So I wonder what made him, I guess, feel invested in his kid. I mean, like, yes, they're his kids, but like obviously in the animal kingdom that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, jack, right?
another female, instead of taking the time to raise kids that might not make it in the end when you really could just make more. Especially since 10 days after his mate died, trackers found him near another female. But the relationship didn't go anywhere and the two weren't seen together again. Meanwhile, 243 continued looking after his cubs. There were even a few reports that the tiger had started teaching his cubs how to hunt. Now, there is no way of knowing for sure the cubs make it after all that, but according to the latest update I could find, all 4 cubs are still alive, healthy, and active.
That's great though. Oh, I hope they do make it. That's a good dad. That's a good dad.
All that, but according to the latest update I could find, all 4 cubs are still alive, healthy, and active, which would be great numbers even if they had a mother. But going 4 for 4 even after getting bambied, well, that's not supposed to happen. At this point, every breath they take is overachieving, and you can thank Mr. 243 for that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Be sure to check out my TikTok and Instagram for more consistent uploads in between videos. And if you'd like to support this channel beyond subscribing, my Patreon's also gonna be in the description. But as always, it's only if you have like extra money you're not gonna miss. Don't give anything you don't need. You watching this video all the way through and allowing me to do this for a living is already much appreciated. All in all, make sure you drink water, hug your mother, tell your father you appreciate him. If you ever see something like this on Tinder, beg his pardon, hit him with the left like Harden, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Are they trying to roar? Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love that noise. Roar, little babies, roar. This mom is like, oh my god, like here we go again. He's doing too much. He's doing too much. Oh, I love that though. This was a great video. I really like this one. This was extremely interesting and kind of like gave me some insights of as far as big cats go, you know, like just wow. Like these stories were kind of crazy. Definitely a great video though. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this. This was a great one. I really did enjoy this a lot. This was a great video. So thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it. And be sure to go and support Casual Geographic because he makes wonderful videos, so much information, he does a great job. So please be sure to go and like and subscribe to him as well. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.